and I'm your guy to discuss this very important topic, but it is as well tragic. Our guest, Christmas Cities is in the house, Mars Dopos is in the house, Wallace David, a family member who is connected to, who is related to Francis Mensah, the 3-year-old kid who died as a result of a hot water burn from the hands of a police officers identified as Sonnie Jallah. Jallah was enforcing the SOP that was announced by the president. But hey, they are here and I have them and I refer to them as my outstanding panelists. They will tell the story. We all need to know what happened and who can we hold responsible. Was the police officers, the police officer carry on his duty professionally and there was a mistake, or it was something calculated, or it was just reckless on his part? They are here and they will break it down for us. What is the family doing right now? Folks, let's welcome Mars Dopo to the microphone. Mars, unmute yourself and welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thanks. Thanks, Sonnie, for the opportunity for us to be here. Thank you for giving us this platform to be able to share baby Francis' story so that everybody can have the opportunity to know exactly how he was murdered. He was murdered by somebody who have taken oath to serve and to protect him. And so we're just thankful that you and Dennis was able to give us this platform to share his story, because a lot of these stories are out there, but people have not been given the opportunity for them to tell that story. So we are thankful, we are grateful for you giving us the opportunity to share our story. My name is Mensah Dopo. By way of introduction, I do live in the state of Delaware, and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, Mars. And Chris Mons, Silly, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. CA, Focus on Liberia, for having me here. My name is Chris Moseli from beautiful Maryland in these United States. I am an advocate of civil rights and a human rights advocate. I am a friend of the oppressed. I am an associate with the forgotten people in forgotten places. I chose to be a promise to my generation, unwavering, undamned, unequal.
That's the man, unwavering, undamned. A man from his generation who want to be a voice. In the house, a family member, Wallace David. Welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, and I'm really grateful to be part of participating in every since I'm there. And once again, thank you. I appreciate the time.
All right, folks, the stage is set. We are here to look into the story of little three-year-old Francis Mensah, who is no longer part of the Liberian family because he died. How it happened? Let's start with you, Mars. Maybe let's start with Wallace. He is a family member to little Francis Mensah. So Wallace, so what actually—
it's almost like you are reading my mind.
Yeah, what actually happened?
Okay, I would say like it was last Tuesday or Wednesday. I received a call from a grandmother. She lived in Philadelphia, so I had no idea what was going on. So she called me. She said, "Have you heard the news?" I said, "What news?" Because normally I don't like talk to people from Africa like that on a daily basis. So I said, "What news?" He said, "Oh, my Francis was murdered." I said, "Murder? Like how?" So she said, during the state of emergency, her daughter went to bathe a little boy and she brought him on the road with the grandmother. So she left his clothes at the bathroom. So trying to go and get the clothes before she came back, she saw the little all burned up. So I said, "Wait, you know what? This story you explained to me, it sounds so good. But let me call the uncle to get a full duty of the story. Because since you told me that he was on the scene, I'd rather call him than to listen to you as a third party." So when I called him, who tried to help his mom to pack everything to go inside, so the Jada, the angry police officer, arrived on the scene, tried to kick things. So when they say I'm gonna go inside, they come out, say I'm gonna go inside, she started kicking things as normal police officer behavior in Liberia. So while kicking stuff, she kicked the hot water pot and it wasted on the little boy and he got burned. So the uncle tried to save the little boy from the water. They keep beating on him with the switch the president gave them. So they keep beating on him. So there was no way he could save the little boy, and the little boy got burned. So when he managed to get him from the hot water, then the officer out there, I think the commander gave them 700
Wallace, your connection
700.
your connection is poor, but I really wanted to get from you. Where was the hot water? Where was the hot water?
Yes,
Was it hot
according
water?
to our president order from the yeah, the hot water was sitting on the table because the Oma normally said tea and bread in the evening. So the hot water was sitting on the table. Look, I'm just from Liberia, so I've been to the house so many times. In the evening, I know what the hot water pot always sitting on the table. They what the hot water pot always sitting. So the officer gave $700. But you know, our president, when he declared yesterday or not, but they said that there should be no car, no keke, or anything on the street running. So there was no way they could get even a taxi to carry the ball. So Sonnie, who is a friend of mine, deputy minister, he took the little boy in his car and carried him to the hospital. 6 days after, the little boy died. So that is the story I received from the uncle in Liberia. And he said that he never knew the police officer name. It was a police commander who gave the officer name to him, Sonia Jallah, before
So
they even get it.
so you are saying that it happened after the time of the lockdown, by time I mean after 3 p.m., which is a time set for everybody to be indoors. And so when this boy got burned with the hot water, there was no any moving vehicle available for him to be rushed to the
I'm
hospital.
sorry. Sonny, can I just come here a little bit?
Sure.
'Cause I think Wallace was kind of breaking in with his phone.
Yeah.
So he pretty much, I mean, he said all of it, but I think the audience did not quite get some of what he
Yeah,
said.
but I didn't get it. So yeah, come
Yeah,
in.
so this is what happened. Since he and myself were together, I mean, we were on the phone with the uncle in Liberia because he made a three-way, so we're on the a conference call with the uncle in Liberia who was also a victim. Okay, so according to the uncle, and I get the uncle because we recorded him, Wallace and I recorded him because we said we wanted to record him just to have like an accurate account of the story.
Okay.
So the uncle said that it was between the hour of between 6 and 7 when the whole stuff took place. So what happens is that they were in front of their house because the old man had been selling in front of her house for years, years. And she been selling her tea as well as her bread, those kind of stuff. So well, since she been sitting there and she's in a tea and stuff like that, so she always got her cold pots on her little market table. And I kind of imagine her being my mother, like who also, when she was alive, she for all her life, she sold her without market, cold water, all those kind of things right on our porch. If she doesn't have the time to go on a mirror to go and make her business, she sold right in front of her house, which is probably like 2 to 3 feet away from your bedroom or probably like your hallway. So and the doors are right open. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the old lady was seated and she was selling her stuff. And Francis' mother had bathed Francis, getting him ready for bed. And so she decided to give the little boy with the to the old man. So the little boy was sitting right near the old man when the mom went in the house to go and grab clothes for the little boy to wear. So while they were sitting there, and the first police officers came and told them, "Oh, y'all know y'all gotta go in the house." So the old man said, "Okay, we will go inside." So because the things that she's selling on her porch, there are many, so she decided to call her son for her son to come and help her. So when the son came, while the son was helping her, and then the other police officer who happens to be the Sonnie Jallah woman came, and this other police officer beating on the ball, and you know how they would be beating you when you're packing your things, hurry or hurry or hurry or something like that. So he was beating on the ball, and then Sonnie Jallah came and and said, "Oh," and they told y'all to go inside, and that's how she kicked the hot boiling water, now unknowingly that the water was underneath there. Yes, and she kicked it, and that's how the water was there. The whole thing dumped on the low ball, and how he fell, like he sat in the pot, and that's how she ran away. They left the scene. Not even the Oma was there crying, my grandson, you bring my grandson, you bring my grandson. They left. They never went to that little child ear until the community started coming. All the community members, they started coming in. What happened? What happened? Our kind of community. What happened? What happened? That's how this person who happens to be the deputy minister, some I know Dara's colleagues, was able to use his vehicle, because when they took the low ball to the West Point Hospital, they couldn't treat him, and no cars were running, nothing. So that's how, fortunately for them, Dara's colleague was able to use his vehicle and transport them to the JFK hospital. That's how they went to the JFK hospital. While to the JFK hospital, this little boy was never attended to. They basically just abandoned him. When I spoke to Maybe, his aunt, Maybe is in Maryland over here. So Maybe she's a nurse. She's in a health field. She has been in a health field for years. So she has an idea. So every time she will call the hospital just to be able to talk to the nurse or whoever is in charge of the low boy kids, and just to provide some kind of support, and this person would be ready, rude to her, or you think you're going to be in America and tell people what to do or this and that. She would even they would say they don't even want to talk to her. That's how the little girl now, whose son Francis' mother was in the hospital there with Francis, but the little girl doesn't understand anything. She doesn't know anything about, all the things that's going on here around her, healthcare wise, and she doesn't know it. So maybe I was always in touch just to make sure that she and the little girl communicating, and what they're telling the little girl understands it. So that was maybe a role in the whole thing. But they didn't do anything. They said they needed blood for the little boy, the ball parking, they took blood. And I was there. They just took blood for no reason. And that's how this little boy, 6 days later, that's how he just succumbed to that severe wound.
And when you guys share the story with me, especially you, Maz, and that you wanted to come and focus on Liberia so that other Liberians can have the opportunity to hear this story, I was completely broken down. I could just imagine the pain that the child had to go through, how water touching his private part and burn to that degree. And because of the very state of emergency, they couldn't get him to the hospital right away. And he had to endure this kind of pain up to his untimely death.
Yeah.
Folks in cyberspace, this is a story that if you hear, you will be like, oh my God, how could this happen? Let's come to you, Mr. Silly. You have, training around issue of security, law enforcement. That's your area. The police officer behavior, is that something you will consider as a mistake? Is it that he was just did he overreact and that's what caused this? Was that an honest mistake or accident? Or was it somebody who was not being professional in the discharge of a duty?
Thank you, Mr. T. First of all, I want to make clear that little baby Francis Mensah, he did not die. He was killed. Just want to make that clear. When you died, it's somehow some natural causes. When you are killed, it's the work of human hands. In my experience as a graduate of the Police Academy, Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice, I can tell you what, as a law enforcement officer, your fundamental duty is to safeguard life and property. It is to protect the innocent against lies and deception. It is to protect the peaceful against violence and disorder. It is to protect the weak against oppression and intimidation. Let's look at the surrounding of West Point. In the midst of all those who were home that day, there was not only a key word, they were home. The weakest among them was baby Francis, only 3 years old. Have a whole life ahead. If you look at the picture of the injury, his back was turned. He was burned from the back. If you know, let's do this. Let me show you this. For any of you, first of all, before I move on, as an advocate and as a sound person, because you see that Mr. C, the dead cannot speak for themselves. It is the responsibility of the living to do so for them. Because one day, when somebody have personal issues with us and take us from our family, we're gonna need somebody to speak for us. For anyone who doubts that our police officers could act so recklessly, well, here is your answer. This was today. This was today. A police officer, let's see what he's gonna do. Hold on 1 second, sir. I'm sorry, it's only 8 seconds. It's only 8 seconds. It's not long. Don't worry about it. It's only 8 seconds. Let's see what a Liberian police officer did today. Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right. He threw something. Christmas, did he throw that on somebody or something?
He threw rock while the crowd is standing around. It is not about dispersing the crowd. It's about to prove tough. It's about abuse of power and authority. What the wheelbarrow got to do to you? An old man was selling something. Apparently, the hour catch up with her. Look at her trying to pack up her low stuff. After he have dumped it, throw rock on it, she packing her low stuff. Right? He wasted everything, kicked everything in the wheelbarrow. And when the wheelbarrow flipped over, just when he have wasted her food, what did he do? When he have wasted her food and all, the wheelbarrow did not produce, the wheelbarrow. Now here's what he did. After he wasted her food and everything, here's what he did. After he wasted her food, he took rock in the wheelbarrow.
I mean, these people got no humility.
All right. Now, this happened today. This happened today. So if you have any doubt that a police officer can be so reckless, this 8 seconds video is your answer. This 8-second video is your answer. Yes, they can. But Mr. C, let me show this to you for a second. I will not bring this too close to, let me stick my hand right here. You know, so Facebook. You now look at the kid's stomach. His stomach is not burned, right?
No.
Okay. This is to tell you the injury. She wasted the hot water from the back. It came from the back. So when she started misbehaving, I promise you, the last thing this kid did on earth as a child, 3 years old, was to be frightened, scared. I bet you through the eyes of faith, he was running. He turned his back to see a woman who could be his mother, his grandma, acting a fool. He turned his back, he was running, and she kicked it. She kicked the copot. Now, somebody will argue, oh, it was a mistake. All right. If we should admit that argument that it was a mistake, the code of conduct, the code of ethics of law enforcement, the code of ethics of law enforcement tells you how to act. As a law enforcement officer, you will provide restraint. You will not apply unnecessary force. Where if your life is not at risk, you will provide restraint. You will be constantly, keyword in the law enforcement code of ethics, you will be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. She was not mindful of the welfare of Lord Francis Mensah. She betrayed the Liberian people. She betrayed the Liberian National Police Department and the badge she wore. Therefore, whether it was mistake or not, it's still a crime. What is crime? Crime is an intentional act or omission in sound mind and body. In Latin, you say mens sana in corporea sano, in sound mind and body. However, why you say, oh, she did not do it intentionally, probably she didn't know that fire was on the probably she didn't know the water was hot. Well, there is something under the law we call negligent homicide. You kill somebody at your own carelessness.
But the thing, Christmas is really not about your intent. It's about the impact of your behavior that it has on someone.
Thank you.
So it's not about I intended to do this. The impact because.
So if Patrick Suru was there, was on the scene, were you going to kick that co-pilot? I bet not. If Gabriel Coleman was there, were you going to kick that co-pilot? I bet not. Because that was not what was taught on the police academy. That is not part of the ethics. That is just gangsterism, an angry woman who left home, and the only way she feels in authority or powerful is to wear the badge of the Liberian people that they have entrusted to her as a sign of public faith and trust for law enforcement. But let me learn like this before we continue. Let me learn like this. That police woman, there is something called negligent homicide. When you kill somebody by your own negligence, the fact that you kick that co-pilot is not part of your training. That was completely negligent. All right. Now, the least punishment she can get, the least charge she can get is negligent homicide. Anything to say, oh, abuse of power and authority, to charge her with abuse of power and authority, she probably not going to get no jail time. It's just going to be part of a fine. It's probably going to be just dishonorable discharge from the police. The least charge she can get is negligent homicide. But if everything was not politics in Liberia, Mr. Sia, I promise you right now, the Montserrat County attorney, rather than running behind Yaka Koluba, the Montserrat County attorney right now is supposed to already press charges for either manslaughter or negligent homicide. But the fact that they are delaying justice is injustice. Just for the record, delaying justice is injustice. This woman supposed. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Let me come to you, Wallace. I hope your connection is better now. And Miles, hold on. Let me get from Wallace. Wallace, you are a family member. Have you gotten words from your family in Liberia as to whether this police officer have been able to show any remorse, taking responsibility of the action that led to the death of this child?
No, not at all.
And how does that make you feel as a family member?
Hurt. And there is nothing. I told the family, I said, there is nothing we can do, because if you as a police officer, I serve as a police officer in Liberia. Okay. I'm working in government. I was assigned to Zone 2, West Point. I served there for 3 years, and I left. I joined the Emergency Response Unit, ERU, before leaving the unit. So I know the policing, I know how the system works. But I will tell you for sure that the police officer, should I use the word stupid on her? I think so, because if you make that kind of error or intentional act, I expected you as an officer, show kindness to the family, keep going to the family, show concern every day, at least That alone can soften the family house. I guess it wasn't intentional.
Right.
But when you stay away as a police officer, it means to say you are wrong. In all angles, you are wrong. There is no doubt about it. So as the family said, since the incident took place, not a single day she showed up.
Since
Not
that
a single day.
she's yet to go to the family or to at least see them to say sorry. She's yet to do that.
Not a single time she showed up. Not at all.
Okay. And let me come to you, Maz. You know, in Liberia, we know that everything now, politics come into play. But I don't think this one should be about politics. We are talking about a police officer who was enforcing state of emergency, and because she was non-professional, because from what you guys are telling me, she kicked the hot water, and that's how it flashed on this child. Anyone would think that, well, that got to be an error, and so at least she would stick around, you know, to express how sorry she is, but she left at some point and never returned. And how does it make you to feel saying we are yet to get any reasonable accountability from the security authority in Liberia? How does it make you to feel as an advocate? You unmute.
And so, you know what? Sometimes, when things happen in Liberia, and I know everybody got their own opinion about how things should go, or when something happens, everybody wants to be so quick to judge and those kind of stuff. Um, when I initially posted this stuff on my Facebook page from what they get needed, the aunt of the low boy, who obviously somebody called my attention to her and I visited her page. So I didn't, like I said, um, initially I didn't even know that Scar. I've known Scar forever. When I was in North Dakota, we lived there together, but I didn't know that Scar was related to this low boy. And when Christmas said that when somebody is harmed, or when somebody is murdered, or when somebody depart this earth the way that they are not supposed to, when you come out to talk, you will get to know that this is home to you, and you know that this person close to you is a victim. And that is true, because I didn't know that this little boy was related to Scar until I posted a screenshot on my page to create an awareness, and Scar came there and commented. And when people, in fact, what makes him to even comment, people were trying to chastise me, trying to deny the story, and they were trying to give their own opinion about it, which is good. But yes, the thing for me, I don't know about any other person. Um, and so when it comes to how people feel, especially death, I always try to keep my opinion to myself. Yeah, because I cannot determine how someone is feeling. You understand? So the best I can do is to keep my opinion to myself. But in our society, we have this tendency of when people are in trouble, when they are trouble, they are in danger. Instead of us coming to their rescue or try to, even if we can help them financially, or even calm voice will soften them. We don't do that. A lot of Liberians don't do that. They start to chastise you. They
I,
start to deny the
I
facts in your story.
don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just curious. Has there been any independent report, a report from maybe a newspaper, or
Yes.
any
Listen,
investigation conducted, to confirm that this actually happened and this police officer is the person responsible?
yes, listen. That's where I'm getting to.
Okay.
First of all, this story, when I wanted to play what's his name, Representative Solomon George interview with the family. Let me play that, and then you will probably get, or let me talk when I get to talk, and then I will play it. You'll probably get to know that this whole story was intended to be covered up.
Okay.
Cover up in a sense that They never wanted anybody to know. Even when Ronnie CA reporter got in touch with me, they never knew about it. Somebody called Ronnie CA and other reporters before they were able to go to West Point, only because we started saying it. Because a lot of the people doubted what we were saying. You know, you're coming from a poor community, so it's like people rushing out to go and tell the family, say, oh, you can't say that, you can't say that, you can't say that, even though their son has died. You know, that was the case with this little boy. So when Rennie Sear went there, he told the story. He interviewed. I shared the mom and the uncle number with him. He went to West Point. He even talked to Wallace. He went to West Point. He interviewed the family and everything. That was when Rennie Sear carries the story before other people started carrying the story and other online digital media outlet. They started going there and going live for it, and even going live for Solomon George's own account of the story. And this is what Solomon George said. He said the day the stuff happened, the day the little boy was murdered, he wrote the president's office, he wrote the police director and told them to take charge of this case, to help the little boy to survive, to prevent the little boy from dying. He said none of them responded to him. He was live. He said, I will say it. If they want to do anything to me, let them go ahead and do it, but I will say it.
And that was Solomon George, who represent the West Point area, correct?
Yes, that was Solomon George.
You are saying he was more like trying to bring this to the attention of the government.
He said he wanted the government to control the narrative. He never wanted it to get out there like that. Yes, yes. That's the reason why he was getting everybody involved to prevent this little boy from dying, but none of them.
You think his intention was that this is unfortunate, and the fact that it involved an officer who is a representative of the government, just law enforcement, the government should step in to, prevent, a worse situation?
Yes, that's what his intent.
Solomon George is a father before he's a politician. Okay. And he understands that there are some principles in life that is more than party or politics. And some of those principles is the principle of standing for a child, fighting for a child who cannot fight for himself.
Yeah.
Because today you in power, tomorrow you may not.
Yeah.
And the records are there for so many people around the world, from Barack Obama to Rufus Newville, who is no longer in power as representative. Right. It could be you tomorrow. I have a 1 year and 6 months old daughter. This kid's a hit close to home. Because imagine my baby girl screaming for help, and I'm not even there to hug her.
Okay.
I see my little girl in baby Francis Mensah. There are some principles in life that are more than politics. There are just sometimes you have to put that partisan logo aside and say, you know what, I'm a father first. I'm a human being first. And this is wrong. Had the government stepped in, maybe, just maybe, Francis Mensah could have died a decent death. Maybe he was going to die trying. Just maybe.
Yeah.
They are going to pay a little bit more attention to him since the government is fully involved.
Sure.
Maybe, just maybe he was going to survive.
Yes.
Francis Mensah was lying there. They only wrapped him up in Band-Aid. He was lying there where Paul's guiding him 6 days later. He begged God to die because this world does not deserve him.
Yeah, let's get some information about the care that he was provided at the hospital. Let me come to Wallace. You are a family member. I believe when the child was at the hospital, you were in contact with family members on the ground. Did they explain to you that he will be giving care, and whether or not the police who know that is aware that one of their officers was involved in this situation, were they there to help in making sure that their child get the best care?
Not at all. Not at all. And I would like to say that we all as Liberians, we should understand that in our system, if you don't have money, hospital, drugstores, clinic, they don't pay attention to you. So we should get up our clear today. So this little child being at that hospital at DFK, there was no money to help him survive. The family is not a rich family. You should understand that they are struggling family. They have people that depend on to send like $5, $10 before they can survive. So when you go at JFK, the nurses tell you that you have to give me something before I can test your own child. A story about this little girl who her mom is in America, yeah. She was hit by a bag in Liberia. The nurses told the mom in America that once you don't pay the money for her to test your daughter, she will die and later die. So we all as Liberians, we should understand that today. If you don't have money in Liberia, nurses, doctors, they're gonna look at you and you're gonna die. And that's what
If you
happened.
don't have money on hand, like that Wallace said, this little girl mom is right in America. Yes, it's Jacqueline. She's right in America. But the thing about it, you have to call your mom. You have to call your mom, and it takes your mom time to send money. And now we're talking about state of emergency. My uncle does money transfer thing. There are so many people who can come in my inbox and ask me, Masa, y'all get money available and stuff like that. I had to ask my uncle, you got anything on hand? And even when he goes to the bank is not accessible. The ATM is not working. So it takes time for this woman to send money to her daughter. For her daughter to be able to pay the nurses before they can look after a child. But the most important thing here is, like Solomon just said, if this government had taken the responsibility, have taken over their responsibility, because they're the ones who committed the murder, if they have taken up their responsibility to safeguard this child, to prevent this child from dying, would they have been on this platform saying anything? We're probably going to be talking about, seeking justice or making sure that this police officer is being back. You understand? We'll not be dealing with two things.
Yeah, and Wallace, I know when this happened, your family got to know at some point. I'm sure you may have had some expectation from the police authority, knowing that they, had involved one of their officers, to help to give the child care. And at some point, you didn't see that. So did you, the family in the U.S., intervene to send hand on the ground to see if that will help to give him a better care? Did anything like that happen?
First of all, I would like to tell you that effort from the police, no, I didn't expect anything from that, because you know what? I serve as a Liberia National Police Officer. I work for ERU in Liberia. So the police, they are very slow in acting. Okay. They don't pay attention to you. Liberia, we all know, once you Lebanese, you Fula me own store, you Mandigo man or you Ghana man, you get Kino, you get the money. The moment you call the police director, he's sending pickup to you. So don't expect for the police to add when it comes to these things. No, it's not surprising to me.
As a former police officer.
Exactly. I serve in the system. We got to be real. We are all Liberian. We have to be real. I tell people, I'm born and raised in West Point. There's no day I go back home, I tell my back home, my community. They're where I'm from. And I'm proud to tell anybody I'm from West Point. I will tell you, when there's a bad apple somewhere, tell the people, say, this is not good. The police have a very bad and corrupt system. I'm telling you, I serve in a system. I will tell you, we are the same thing, but that it can't be happening all the time. We have to find a solution to these things. And I listened to Moses Carter as a police spokesman. His statement was very reckless, saying that stranger kicked the hot water pipe. And the same man came on air and said that investigation is ongoing. Mostly, gotta be very mindful when the investigation is ongoing.
And that's the same story. That's the same police department that released what's her name? Sonnie Jallah name to the family. The day the little boy died. The day the little boy died. The same police department.
So how can you trust the system?
So why are you want to call yourself?
And do you guys, you people have been involved with this story. Let me come to you, Christmas. Maybe you got some friends in there, and you too, Wallace. Is there actually an investigation going on to get to the bottom of this, to know who actually was wrong, and so that person can be held accountable?
Why you see it? Why you see? I just like drinking so that I don't get just to be drinking stuff. So when you see here, this is just ordinary juice. It says non-alcohol, just for the record, okay? This is just ordinary juice. All right, all right. Now, I did have to say that because some people will be on your panel, be like, oh, blah blah blah, he's drinking. No, this is just ordinary juice, non-alcohol. Because at the end of the day, people will not come here to focus on the issue to try to distract you by saying things that way out of the thing. So I caught them right in their trap.
You are distracting me now. I asked you a question.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. So go ahead, sir. Send that question again, please.
So my question is, you follow this thing. I've listened to 2 of your podcasts, trying to bring this story to life for Liberians to know what really happened, that there was not just any accident. It was as a result a police officer not being professional that led to the killing, in your own words, of this child. Have you done your own research to find out whether the police carry on an investigation so that they will be able to get the true story, so that they will be able to come up with the rightful accountability thereof?
Thank you, sir, for that question. Now, here is the perfect answer. You cannot get it any more perfect than this. Okay? Now, in Liberia, since our police don't wear body cameras, in Liberia, since we don't have street cameras, there is something in law enforcement or criminal justice, in investigation, they call, there is different kinds of evidence, but there is something called testimonial evidence. When there is no picture evidence or video evidence, or there is no autopsy, you get something called testimonial evidence to corroborate people's story. The family, they're not like highly educated, BSc, master's degree educated. No, they was able to give a statement verbally, and the police write their statement wrongly. As a matter of fact, the police told them how to write their statement. Can you imagine, Mr. Holtz? So here is the deal. If you want to get a perfect and honest interrogation, Mr. Host, go and meet the family. When you meet the family, meet the neighbors, meet the next door neighbors, people across the street. West Point is only but very small. And you will see what the family story corroborate with other people who were eyewitnesses. First of all, since Liberia, that kind of system, you want to get eyewitnesses, right? First of all, identify eyewitnesses. When you get the family statement, you get eyewitnesses statement. I tell you what, it's hard. It's hard to lie. The truth crushed to the ground will rise again. You can throw the truth in the ocean, the truth will swim back to shore. Mr. Host, when you finish interrogating the family and the neighbors, go and interrogate every single police officer. I mean, a very professional, like do it in the way that you want justice. Not necessarily want to put this police officer behind bars, not necessarily trying to free her, but you want honest justice. Because in law enforcement, in the justice system, more than the law, the law enforcement will rather free 100 guilty people. You listen to me, Mr. Host? Law enforcement will rather free 100 guilty people than to punish one innocent person. You understand? So we do not seek to punish an innocent woman who maybe did not commit a crime. That's not what we seek. As a law enforcement officer, as a criminal justice practitioner, I understand that law enforcement would rather free 100 guilty person rather than to punish one innocent person. So now, when you do that, call all these police officers who was on duty that day, call them one by one in an interrogation room and get an honest interrogation recorded on tape.
Well, Christmas.
Guess what, Mr. Host? Before I lost my chain of thought, guess what? Guess what? The spokesman, the statement they gave to the police spokesman that day, their statement was, this police officer, the police group were coming and ordinary strangers were running. And one perfect stranger came and kicked the co-pilot on the low child. That was the statement they gave the police spokesman. Mr. Host?
Yeah, days are drawing closer.
I'm trying to let you know that today, there was a meeting today. You know that we hire a lawyer. Do you know that, Mr. Host?
No, I have no idea.
The Liberian people in America decided to hire a lawyer. And all around the world, the Liberian people in America, all around the world, decided to hire a lawyer. The lawyer today went with the family into the police code of ethics investigation. It was revealed that the police officer was the one who told the family how to write a statement. Put that one there, tell that one up. Put that one there, tell that one up.
And in police, it should not
Yes.
have gone that way.
No, you don't do that. You do not influence. You don't tell them to do that.
Yeah.
All right. And first of all, if you look at the magnitude of the case, you advise them to get a lawyer. You tell them if they cannot afford one will be appointed to them.
That's it. That is
You
it.
don't tell the family how to write a sentence,
Yes.
a report.
That is it.
All right, Chris Mons. Again, folks, in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. I'm Sonnie here.
But Mr. Host, just my last sentence. They told the police director that perfect strangers were running, and one stranger kicked the copper over, right? Guess what today? In a court of ethics interrogation, where the witnesses supposed to question the accused question the witnesses of the bereaved family. It breaks my heart, my fellow Liberians who watching in cyberspace. It breaks my heart. Imagine what the family are going through for the accuser, the person who killed your child, to look at you and tell you lying. Can you imagine?
Yes.
But guess what? The lady switched her story today. She said, and first she told the police spokesman, he made that statement on Spoon FM TV that a perfect stranger, the police were coming and the people were running, or perfect stranger kicked the copper. Guess what the story changed to today? The story changed to why they were coming, the police people were coming, and what happened, Mr. Host? Now, hold on 1 second. Let me gather my channel. So she said in the statement today, because I was on the phone, she said in the statement today, before Moses Carter reported the police spokesman that perfect stranger kicked the copper.
The copper.
Yes, that was the testimony, right?
So what's the change of story that you're trying to grab? That why?
Today, the police officer's story is that rather than a perfect stranger kick the copper, what happened was the baby fall down. The baby fall down. Can you imagine a 3-year-old?
The child fell. That is the new story. It's not a stranger kicking the hot water
Absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah.
Now the story is a 3-year-old who just from taking shower, standing out like this, just like me when I was 3 years old, waiting for your mama to bring your clothes to wear. She said a 3-year-old that got vest and fall in the fire, in the hot water. Can you imagine?
And I'm pretty sure
Meanwhile, the burn is on his back. So this 3-year-old child, he just stood on there and said, you know what? To hell this fire. Boom! He fall on inside. Can you imagine, Mr. Host?
I think they will have to change his death certificate too.
That is the statement today she took.
And
so, Mr. Host, before we continue, this is what I brought to you and the Liberian people.
Right.
We hire a lawyer. The lawyer will do this job free. It's an independent law firm. This case is a case of public interest. He said you will do the job free. All he wants is administrative processing fee. All right, Mr. Host, tomorrow, because he told the police, he said, because this is when we hired the lawyer, the family have already made quote unquote statement.
First one, we'll get to the lawyer aspect. What you just provided is that initially the story from the police officer was that a stranger who was walking by just about the time this incident happened, the one who kicked the hot water container, and on this child, and the child had to go through the screen that led to the child's death.
That's right. That was
a change of story that the child, that it is the child now who fell, and that's how he can come in contact with the hot water. Thank you. That's the change of story, and you are right. That is why you will need a lawyer, and there got to be an investigation to be able to get to the bottom of the story, because as we speak right now, the family story is different, the police story is different, and the police story has just changed. That come to
I tell you what is the same. I tell you what is the same. The family story and the neighbor's story is the same. It corroborated.
Thank you.
Just like a puzzle, boop, it stick in.
All right.
So even Representative Solomon's story is the same. The same with the family story.
The police spoke made a sheep. They
And
embarrass
so,
him.
Let's bring Wallace. Let's bring Wallace in.
Story.
Let's bring Wallace in, and one at a time. We got a lot of people listening so that they can be able to grab it. Wallace, quickly.
and so how possible would it be that the table the woman study the tea on is a low table? How possible?
Right?
How possible the late child will go on this low table and throw himself in the hot water? How possible can that be?
So I just want to know, where is the hot water situated? When I listen
on the table is the hot water is on the table.
On the table. Okay.
Yep. And the little child is not on the table.
And you are saying, as a family member, it's because you are familiar with the house, you are familiar with the setting, and it's not possible for this child to have tripped and then this hot water, to have like wasted, and then he comes in contact with it. Is that what you're saying?
It's not possible.
It's not possible at all. Okay.
Yep.
All right, then let's come to the child has died. Very unfortunate and heart-wrenching story in the folks in cyberspace following us here. He has been buried. Walk me through the agony that the family had to go through with this burial. The police authority in your story that did not really stand by the family throughout the hospital period. Were they with the family during the burial?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't at all.
Sonnie.
Don't go with Sonnie. Money is
Sonnie.
Yeah.
Please. The day prior to the Lord Child burial. Let's hear from the representative who was there with the police, with the family, prior to the Lord Child burial. So I'm going to play this, like, apparently it's going to answer your question.
Our grandfather has spoken. He says he does not want an uprising against the government from our side. So let us put the chat together with OFO and see how much we can bury the government. Latest after tomorrow. We can go in their investigation. And I would like to see the Liberian government and director those that are responsible after your investigation was happening. Please make sure that if such an incident and we are helping to fix, let us fix quickly. So if the food can be rotting, we should not allow the food to get rotting. I send message to the police director, the deputy police director, the president, this and that. Let us see about this young man. If the government had put their hand behind this thing, I would have died. Because I saw it the first time, I knew it now. It's still the pain. It is the pain that kills him.
All right, Mensah, while he's doing that, put context around it. Why is the story he's telling them?
He's explaining to the police director as well as the press. He's telling the press what happened.
So you can explain it.
I will explain it.
I'm not saying you are not, but in this action, you are not proactive. You are perceptive and backstabbing. I mean what I say. I am someone who does not mean for words. I would just like to appeal to the family, like the grandfather.
It's hard to follow, so please explain it quickly. Summarize it. If you don't mind.
I want you to listen. Just for 2 minutes here, record it. Okay. So this is what he's saying. This was the day that they're supposed. You hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the day they were planning to bury the little boy, because it took, when the little boy died, it took 2 days. They were, the family and the police, they were going back and forth and stuff like that. So it took them 2 days. So the day they're supposed to bury the boy, that was the day that Representative Solomon was at the family house along with the police and the press people. And they were asking him questions. And he was telling them that when the little boy, the day the thing happened, he saw the little boy. He knew that the little boy could not stand the pain. So he contacted the president's office, he contacted the police director, and he told them that all of them should get together and see how best they can prevent this little boy from dying. He said nobody took action, and the little boy died. So now that the little boy is there, they need to make sure that this should not happen again. And that when people call on their attention to something that the government has done, they should be proactive. I think you heard that. They should be proactive. Because they fail to be proactive, that's the reason why this whole death is now a popular,
Outrage.
yes.
Yeah, it's a public interest. Okay.
All right. Wow. So the child is buried and stay. The police authorities and even our government could not come in to help with the burial.
No.
Where do we go from here? And that is what Silly was bringing in. Now it's about accountability. The way the child died, now someone needs to be held accountable because from all indication, the police is giving conflicting story. And so we can agree on what actually happened. And that's why the law comes in. And you guys, Silly was saying, you guys hire a lawyer. So what will the lawyer be able to do? And I know the lawyer is to fight the case to get the.
So this is what we did. Christmas is the senior city. He was able to schedule a meeting. We had a conference call. I think that was like 2 or 3 days ago. Right. We had a conference call with the family, both here and in Liberia. And those who are also interested in the story, because a lot of people have reached out to me who want to give out their financial support when it comes to lawyers and all that kind of stuff. Right. So we were able to have a meeting with the family, and the 3 of us here, including other people that's part of our chat room, we told the family, we want to help because this case is not your case. This is all of us case. All of us are impacted by the manner in which this little boy died. I have 2 daughters. I would never even imagine going through that pain when that has happened to one of them. God forbid. You understand? So it interests all of us. So we want to come in. We want to help. And I talked to Wallace. I'm like, coming in to help because Liberia, this is a public interest case. The next thing you're going to do, the government already committed this crime. They will want to go past beyond people and go and give the family a handout, making the family to believe that what they give them is something that can sustain them. And then later on, when they start calling or give another story that is so different, then they move from behind them. That's how it happens in Liberia.
But Mas, you just said the government has committed a crime. You have found the government guilty already?
No, what I'm saying, when we had a meeting with the family, we wanted to be clear because these are things that happen. When you come in to help people, when you go low, the government pass beyond you, and because they're seeing all the interest in the case and they know they are wrong, so they will pass beyond you and then go and give the family a handout, and the family will abandon their rights. So we were trying to be clear with them that we are going to make sure we raise enough money to fund whatever the lawyers' fees are going to be, and we make sure we help the little girl who is the mother as well while we're going through this. So we talked, and they said, okay, y'all go ahead and do what y'all get to do to help us, because all we need is justice for this child. So we were able to contact a very good law friend, a very good lawyer, and it was just yesterday we had a conference call with him. Today he had already signed the document. Christmas was able to share a copy of the communication with me, and we went through it and everything. So the lawyer is on this case officially.
And let me come to you, Christmas. You are aware of the terrain. You picking this fight for justice for little Francis Mensah. Our court system comes to mind. Having a lawyer is a plus because anyone would think he knows the system. But sometimes the system is just bigger than an individual. It's just
It's not bigger than an individual, it's corrupt.
So Mars, you told me off track. Sometimes my time to talk, give me a chance, So, Christmas, my question I'm asking is that why you intend to get out of this now? Just justice for this child, and what is justice for this child? What is justice that you want for this child? That the police officer is found guilty of this act that you believe she's responsible for, and that would be justice for little Francis?
Thank you, sir, for that question. What we all ought to seek from this case, I'm talking about all the Liberian people who have donated and will continue to donate, is justice. We want justice for Francis. We want justice for the police officer. We are justice advocates. If she's innocent, give her due process. Don't cover up. What are you afraid of? Give her due process. I bet you if she's truly innocent, she wants to stay in court that day and tell the judge not guilty so that evidence and testimonies can be presented. Why are you covering up? National Police? Give her day in court, let her clear her name. Because an attempt to make this case a cold case, that will live after her and her family for eternity and posterity. She don't want that.
First one, you believe that the government or the police authority, if you like, are trying to shield this officer or trying to protect her or trying to prevent her from facing justice?
Well, like the Babyleka Teka minute you're fasting. It is visible to the blind. It is audible to the deaf. That a police spokesman who have not been on the scene of the crime can come on national radio and on social media to tell the Liberian people, our people are stubborn. And the police were coming and they were running, and one perfect stranger kicked the co-pilot over. Today she changed that story. That the child is only 3 years old. He's a little baby. He just fell in the hot water. Can you imagine? That was her testimony today in front of the Department of Code of Ethics in the National Police.
All right, Wallace, your little nephew is gone out of a situation, out of an accident that is heart-wrenching. What is justice for the family?
Okay, first of all, I would like to tell you that because it is a death case, the police trying to cover it up because it's a death case. I'll give you a story. Once upon a time, when I was a son at the West Police Station Zone 2, was like on third shift, and then they brought in a notorious criminal. And that very night, I was a cell guard. That very night at West Police Station Zone 2. And the case the body guy is a burglary case. And those involved in this case, they are all Lebanese, Fula people that got money, that own stores in Liberia, while I was a cell guard. So the heavy rainfall, then we received a call that there was a robbery somewhere, and we went there. When I came back, this criminal escaped. Do you know what happened to me?
No.
The commander gave me for 2 days, and when the call came for the police director, they jailed me for 2 days. 2 days I was in jail. I didn't free this guy. I didn't know how the guy escaped. Because I was a cell guy, I took the responsibility to jail me. And then I told him that, give me 3 days, I will produce the criminal. And they said, you sure? I have people came to sign, my family member came to sign for me. 3 days, and I produced this criminal. They say if I don't produce the guy, they will send me to court. So if you can tell me as a police officer who serve as a cell guard, or because a criminal escaped, and you try to send him to court because it's a Fula man and a Lebanese man involved. So now you tell me that this thing, another police officer who killed this little child, you tell me that you can jail her, and that's how you know that the system is corrupt. because it is police officer involved, so they try to do a cover up on the case, and it's not going to work.
What year was this, please? Just for the record.
It happened in 2007 in West Point.
If it happened in 2007, was it under Mark Ambulat, or was it under Mensah, or was it under Gregory Coleman?
It was under Mark Abuda at that time, because they just took Munasie and Mark Abuda became the police director.
It was under Mark Ambulat. So my fellow Liberians, this is to tell you that the administration is the problem here. Under Mark Ambulat, a police officer could go to jail because he was the cell guard. He had no business leaving his duty post to go chase armed robber. His duty was his cell post. Whatever, even armed robber come next door to the police station, that was not his job. His assignment was to stand guard at the jail door. Because he left it to chase armed robber and a criminal escape, he went to jail for that. Under Mark Ambulat,
you are held responsible and accountable.
That it is up there that's corrupt. Under Mark Ambulat, policemen can go to jail. But under Patrick Sulu, it's all about politics.
And the police commander at that time was Sarko Fremont, and the deputy police commander was Kennedy C1.
Do you understand the logic? But this is
I got a logic.
Thank you.
So why this time is
a police officer may be held accountable if at all they acted unprofessional in the discharge of their duties. Guys, I do this. Thank you for giving your understanding of the story, how it started up to this, the burial of little Francis Mensah. We are all heartbroken, completely devastated, heart-wrecked, by the way, that he had to go through, excruciating pain, and then he died without living to tell this story. And Sele said, because of his death, Liberia has become so small because he is a Manius from our family, the Liberian family. Now, you have embarked on this effort to get this child justice because he can no longer speak for himself. Only us, the living, can speak for him. How do you want Liberian listening to you around the world can come to join you in this effort of seeking justice for little Francis Mensah? Let's start with you, Mas. How can Liberians join this effort?
I think with the death of anyone, especially if it has public interest, it means all of us are victims, or all of us, we are impacted. And looking at the way baby Francis was murdered and the way his death has been treated and all of the blames, all of the lies, I think it's just fair enough that all of us come together as Liberians, regardless of where we come from, where we stand in terms of politics or opinions and stuff. But this is a death. This is a death of an innocent child, a baby who wake up every day thinking about becoming the next George Weah of our nation, thinking about becoming the next police director of our nation. I'm pretty sure he had that same dream. So for somebody who's supposed to protect and defend him and to kill him and murder him, and then the whole country, whole government cannot even speak to his pain with kindness, with empathy, with sympathy, it tells you that our system does not believe in the dignity and worth of anybody. It's now time for all of us to come together as Liberians to ensure that Francis, that death from a police officer stops on Francis. Nobody else should die. Nobody else should be affected. I know we have seen footages of a lot of other police brutality so far in this state of emergency, which of course we are compiling, putting them together, and we are going to present this case to international human rights organizations. We are not going to stop because we need to move Liberia from this place of this place of chaos to a nation that is respected, a nation that can respect their own citizens. Even if the citizens are hungry, let them be hungry, but do not kill them. Do not abuse them. Do not murder them. They are your citizens. One day they're going to find food. Their stomach is going to be filled like yours. So
Thank
we
you.
want everybody to support this campaign. We want you, as sure Christmas got the link for the cash out. And we what's his name? Wallace. I started a fundraiser. I've not put my fundraiser up yet, but I'm gonna try to do that. To see how best we can raise money, because we have the, like we said, we hire a law firm, a reputable human being institution, and we are depending on that they have already, we are confident enough that they are going to fight this case to the Supreme Court and they are going to win.
Thank you. And Chris Mon, you're raising funds beside the legal fees intended to get little Francis justice. Do you have in mind any other way that this money that you are seeking will help, if not the family or with anything else in the effort of getting justice for Francis?
I tell you what, Mr. Moderator, the family do not care for a dime. The family is not looking for money. They content what they have and they are hopeful about the future. What they want is a 3-year-old who would never have a family of his own, who would never go to high school and a prom, or if you like, a graduation night. It's a 3-year-old who is the story of many of us. President George, we are in 1969. He was 3 years. President Joshua was born 1966. 1969, President George was 3 years old. That was President Weah. Francis Mensah was President Weah in 1969. I was born 1990. Francis is me, 1993. I was not born to a rich family in the Fancy community. I was born in Jallah, where my umbilical cord was buried. I don't know why that tree exists anymore. Because you know how our old man in Kweto, they have to bury our umbilical cord, our neighbor's on a tree. I don't know the tree, but I know my umbilical cord was brought from Cali Hospital and was buried at Jallah. But that was me. Today I'm a U.S. Marine. I'm proud of myself and all that I am. I'm married with a family, a beautiful daughter, and I have a whole life ahead by the grace of God. But that was me. 1993, Francis Mensah was me. I served the United States Armed Forces in the United States Marine Corps with honor, where I broke my shoulder in less than 3 years of my service. I'm honorably discharged by the grace of God. That was me, who was born in Jallastan today, an honorable United States citizen. Francis Mensah could be me some few years from now. Francis Mensah could be George Weah, and every one of you who watching in the comment section, you all have your Liberian story. Mr. Moderator, I tell you what. So right now we have raised $1,586. The lawyer said he will do this case for free. All he will need is administrative processing. For the administrative processing, we have to do a down payment because the lawyer started on the case today. So today he went to the police department in a meeting with the police department and the family. He told the police department, listen, that statement what I wrote for this family, that's not the narrative, because it was a police officer who told them what to write and how to write what they wrote. The lawyer have sat over the case today. We wrote this law firm and asked them to take over this case. They agreed. They wrote us back and said, hey, we agree to take over this case. So now he said, Christmas, this is a public interest case. We'll do it for free. Pro bono. In Latin, you say pro bono publico.
Thank you.
For the good public. So now we have to make a deposit of $1,000. We will make that deposit tonight. After this podcast, I will go live and I will go to the MoneyGram. The public who donated their money will see how their money is being spent. They will see me go to the MoneyGram. They will see me withdraw the $1,000. They will see me go to the MoneyGram. They will see me send the $1,000 to Liberia. And the family will get a $1,000 US to the lawyer tomorrow. But we have only $1,586. The lawyer said when 80% of this money is used, he's going to let us know. We, the Liberian people, he's going to let us know so that we can put another money in the account in Liberia so that, he always have money when he need one. Tomorrow, this lawyer will be going to get photographs. Tomorrow, the lawyer will be going to get professional interview Tomorrow he will be doing a whole lot of things, and he
Thank
needs
you.
money to do that. And he needs the Liberian people to help with this process. Thank you.
Thank you. And let me come to you, Wallace, for your final statement. I know what you've won now as a family is justice for this child. And in order to get justice, sometimes justice just not free. It comes with a cost. Any word that you have for those that are listening to help you as a family in seeking this much needed justice for little Francis? Your final words.
I know and I believe that with the help of our brother and sister, we'll raise the amount that we're targeting. And I got a message for West Point. West Point, it is time that we stand up for other people, for ourselves. Because this is not the first time during Eddie regime, they killed that little boy right by EDC, and nothing came from it. Since the incident took place, our commission is my personal friend, William Weir, going with the family at the police station and not saying anything, it doesn't help. Dara Scotty is a deputy minister, helping the family, carrying the child to the hospital. That's not what we're talking about. It is time that you stand up for something, speak, let your voice be heard so people in the community can respect you. But none of them doing all those things. They just sitting back. Oh, we're going with the family, we're doing this. I'm asking West Point, you guys how to put yourself together. All the organizations in West Point that call themselves women rights, children rights, DA or WU, or drugs people that helping drugs people, let them come together and run after the case. So next time, at least the people of Liberia can know that we are not dogs in West Point. We are all human. So when you come into West Point, treat us with respect. Don't come to West Point when you need vote, when you need our vote. No. Don't come to West Point when you need our help. Come to West Point when we also need your help.
Thank you. Come to West Point and treat us with respect because we are humans and we deserve respect. Final words there from Wallace David, a family member who joined Christmas City, and Mas Dopo, who have been trying to elevate this story here at Focus on Liberia. On that note, folks, in cyberspace, I want to let you know we have been discussing the untimely death of little Francis Mensah, who died as a result of hot water burn. He came in contact with hot water. The story is that the police officer kicked that hot water and he got burned with that hot water and died 6 days after at the hospital. The police has changed the story that these perfect strangers came by and the one who kicked that hot water pipe. And then that story changed again that, oh, the child fell and came in contact with this hot water container that led to his death. What a heartbreaking story. That is all we have for you in this edition of Tuesday Special. My name is Anthony C. Ben Hussein, and my guest has been Mas Dopo, Christmas Silly, and a family member, Wallace Davis. On that note, we will come to the end of this broadcast. We want to say a very big thank you to Mas, to Christmas, and Wallace for their time. They continue to pour in just to see to it that justice is served for little Francis Mensah. And I know you listening to me, you want to see justice for this little kid. Like Christmas said, that child was President George Manawia in 1966. No, 1969. And that child was Christmas City in what?
1993.
In 1993. And that child was me also at some time, because I don't want to call my age, so you won't know that I'm too young or neither too old. Thank you for watching. This is Focus on Liberia. This is what we do here. We educate, we elevate, we promote all things Liberia. And dare not forget that Corona is still around. Follow us tomorrow. We are having a special tomorrow. Look for the details on Focus on Liberia.
So can I share the Cash App number with the audience if they care to donate to this cause?
Yes, go ahead and provide that number, those who want to make contribution in the effort to seek justice for little Francis Mensah. Let's go read that number quickly.
The number is 443-431-3062. 443-431-3062. If somebody can write that down, Mr. Rodney can probably pin that on there.
And you want to call that number the
Yes,
Liberian
call the
way.
number.
The way you call it was too American. Put your Liberian in you and call that number again.
443-1-3062.
Again.
443-1-3062.
Thank you. Thank you, Christmas. So, folks, that's the number that if you want to contribute, please do so. You will be doing so in your efforts to seek justice for little Francis Mensah. Here at Focus on Liberia, we encourage you to contribute to the water cause because it's all about justice for this little child who I believe had a dream to be somebody to represent not only himself, his family, but also our country, Liberia. We have lost a giant and we don't know what that giant could have done for that country. And it is important that you contribute. We here at Focus on Liberia will encourage you to do so if you can. And I think the family and little Francis, as he joined our Heavenly Father, we appreciate that when he left, there were Liberians who stood in the vanguard to seek justice for him. And all I can do is to encourage you to do so when you can. And Sonnie is the name. Focus on Liberia is the network. And we want to say thank you for following our broadcast. That will do it for us. And we say bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home.